such an asshole.
Hello, children. We have an interesting request today. If you have an interesting request, you can go to assholeconsulting.com, send me your request. As long as you have money, by the way, because Cappy don't work for free. And Cappy got a poo. And so most of the money is dedicated to my septic tank fund as I'm building a house out west. Young man writes, very good question. Hey, asshole, I'm an American guy in my early 20s, soon beginning a career as an electrical lineman. And I have a strong desire to retire early abroad where my dollar will stretch. Russia, Chile, the Baltic countries, etc., where I am sure I would do fine financially and culturally. I'm well-traveled and consider myself to pick up new languages rather quickly. There's one big problem in my mind, though, and that is there's no country on the planet that offers the freedoms of the United States. And by moving from here, I'd be completely sacrificing them. For example, the U.S. is in effect the only developed country where you can legally purchase and own firearms without the government's oversight or permission. It's also one of the only ones you can use said firearms to defend life or property and not have to worry about being jailed. Not to mention the First Amendment, which is surprisingly unique. The U.S. offers legal, unregulated homeschooling, which is outright illegal or highly regulated in most other countries. I want a family, but I would absolutely have to have them homeschooled after learning how destructive modern public schooling is. Yeah, but that's like in the United States. Overseas, they may just teach you reading, writing, and arithmetic still. You know, I'm sure with its own flair. I mean, you go to Mexico, they're going to have Mexican history painted in. You go to Japan, it'll be Japanese history. I'm sure they'll be biased, but nowhere near the indoctrination and lies that the United States has. I could continue, but it's clear America offers many freedoms which don't exist at all in most countries. Many of those freedoms I consider absolutely crucial. If I wanted to move abroad, I'd be making a huge sacrifice. I'd love your thoughts on a video response on how I could reconcile trading freedom for luxury. And then I asked, well, how much do you want kids? He says, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I am an 8 for wanting children. I've always wanted a rural family life with animals and a bit of farming and hunting like the one I was raised on myself as a child, as I know it does a lot of good for a person. Besides, if I wanted to emigrate easily, there would probably be marriage involved, which means children. I'll go ahead and pay. All right, so how do I want to take this? One, you're very young. Just hold off on the marriage thing. Go travel around and see if you still want this marriage and kids bit. All right. 2, you also need to travel around because I do know for a fact you can have guns in different countries. Now, it's predominantly hunting and maybe they're not home defense or like a carbine, which would be for attack or defense. And also with homeschooling law, all right, maybe you can't homeschool your kid, but are they teaching Marxist philosophical thought in Hungary? I don't think the Baltics are really keen on teaching Marxist leftist thought anymore. They were the first, provinces to leave the Soviet Union before the Soviet Union collapsed. So I think you need to do a little bit more research because you may not have the gun culture and the gun freedoms as much as you would in the United States, but there's still countries out there that have a fair amount of freedoms that would allow you maybe not to homeschool, but they're not going to purposefully indoctrinate your kids to hate you, and freedom and bow down at the altar of Marx. But to balance out your other concerns with these freedoms, what I'm going to try and convey to you is something that's going to happen, in my opinion, in the future within freedoms of the United States, and to have you question the value you place on these freedoms. And this is why the topic is, what is the topic? I took my notes down here because this is a little bit more complicated. There we go. We're looking at freedom, cultural stability, and sanity, right? On the face of it, freedom may seem most important. And to a 23-year-old like you who's idealistic, you may say, oh, I want to have X, Y, and Z. These are my life goals. What countries offer it? Oh, I got this trade-off, as there always is trade-offs. I don't have this freedom in the United States. I have this freedom in the United States, but not Lithuania. I have this freedom in the United States, but not Poland. Right? Again, I think you'd be surprised how many places have similar freedoms to the United States. But yes, you're right. There's not a Second Amendment law out there. There's not a First Amendment free speech law out there. anywhere else. The United States Constitution is unique. But as I'm getting older, and as I look into my Cappy's crystal ball, which is surprisingly accurate, but I don't listen to that guy. He tells us things we don't want to hear. I am valuing freedom less and less than I am simple cultural stability. And when I go out on my global reconnaissance, I'm going to do 4 months in Southeast Asia and 4 months in Central Europe, and among other places along and to and fro the way, I'm not looking for freedom. It's not what I'm looking for. Not the number one. Yes, obviously, I'd like to be free. I don't want to go to North Korea. I don't want to go to Venezuela. But that is not the number one thing I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is stability, specifically cultural stability. And the reason cultural stability is because I want the electricity on. Now, unlike you, I'm in the last third of my life. You're in the first third still. So you may look at things a little bit differently. But as I see the United States, where it's been, where it's gone, and where it's going, okay, that's fine. We got this Constitution. But if politicians and the people itself keep whittling away, I mean, look at California and their gun laws. Like, my God, right to bear arms. And look how much progress they've made in eroding it. Right? Yeah, we're a free United States capitalist. Well, we're not capitalists. We take 40% GDP, 45, 46 if you want to throw in the insane deficits Obama and Trump have been running. I don't care what's said on a piece of paper. Because if the group of people, the younger generations that are growing up, are dysfunctional tards or psychopaths, all programmed to hate your guts, I don't care what piece of paper was written in 1776 by our forefathers, ain't nobody honoring it. And if you look at what's happening in the United States, you're having the latest generation, as was boomer on, but it's just increasingly more and more so. You have a bunch of people that are programmed to hate freedom, hate the United States, hate the concept of I'd even say democracy, although they all want the vote, but that I was going to say republicanism, but I don't mean to bore people with the details and the differences. You have a bunch of parasites who can't work for a living, have no morals, honor, or integrity, and all they know is envy and parasite politics. And they don't give a damn about, perfect example, the cupcake thing or the bake the cake for the gay people. All right. I think in Portland and Denver, was it? Colorado? I forgot where it was. Look, they don't have to bake you a cake. Respect people's religious preferences. They have a freedom not to bake you a cake. Go down to the next one. I think didn't they even face jail time? I mean, I know their business was shut down. Are you kidding me? You have the right to bear arms. We got everyone trying to take away the guns. This younger generation I know there's young kids nowadays, but if you look at the future, it's going to be led and headed up by young people. And you could look at like kind of indicators with Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar. They're outright Marxists. Right? And people vote for this. This is the millennials haven't woken the fuck up. They still want a bailout. And they're still going to vote Democrat. Why? I don't know. They're pretty stupid. Because it seems to me the people that really fucked them over with the student loans and the lies were all Democrats and socialists. They're professors, they're teachers, they're guidance counselors. But they're so dumb, they're so thoroughly inculcated and brainwashed, they're still going to vote Democrat. Because rat bastards Jim has more than I do. Oh, and that guy has a different color of skin, and that guy has a different color, a different gender, or gal, I guess. That person's, and they have, and this is where it gets to insanity. That's fine. We got the institute. We got the Constitution. That's fine. We got the Bill of Rights. If the majority of your population doesn't respect it, who cares? It's irrelevant. And with everybody obsessed about basically envy politics, also parasitic politics, and their fucking traits, identity politics, and everybody who isn't me benefits unfairly, and I'm entitled to their shit. You know what? Not only is that not going to be culturally stable in the future, it's already mentally insane. I know, like many of you, man, I'm pissed with the riots, even though they're destroying their own town. I'm like, oh shit, man. And then I got people, well, you see, it's because of people like you unconsciously not. No. Don't dare even tell me this is my fault. That's how insane it's become. And why? Because we don't have mature adults anymore being brought up. We have little Marxist NPC soldier robots. And the insanity that's now that, may I point out more insanity? You got companies donating to a Marxist organization that's a hate group. Look how good we are. You got the NFL. You know, like, oh, Black Lives Matter. It's like, yeah. I know that, yes, that the words are true, but not the organization. You got mayors protesting with people trying to burn down their own apartments. I don't want to be in the insane asylum. This is turning into Arkham Asylum. And you could go move to red states and red towns, but in 30 to 40 years, well, you'll be a little bit older than me. But let's just say in 25 years, right, at a national level, federal level, they're going to start passing down laws. It's going to be insane. And so not only is there no cultural stability in the United States, with everybody more obsessed with what their junk is down below, and how, what skin color am I? Was I born? There's all these traits, and then being weaponized against one another. There is no Team America anymore. It's an us versus them, and this is not a stable society. And it's going to become less and less stable down the road. And the other thing is, I'm tired of worrying about. I'm tired of being fucking right all the time. I'm tired of predicting bubbles. I'm tired of predicting common sense shit where it's like, that's not a good idea. Don't do that. Shut up. Being called an ist or an ism because I tell people there's a housing crash along the way, or not to major in stupid shit. I'm a sexist, apparently, telling women not to major in stupid shit. Because, okay, major in stupid shit. Go, waste your money. And the backlash, and just basically the dysfunction of the average American adult, young or old, nobody saves up for money. No, I'm done. Not only is that not a stable culture, it's an insane asylum. And you pay a tax. You pay a price for living in an insane society. You know, people are like, why is my husband so angry? I don't know. COVID and communism. Let's start there. And so I know you think the United States has these freedoms. What I'm pointing out is they're going to become increasingly irrelevant, and freedom will not be the most important thing. It'll be, can you just have a difference of opinion without being canceled or having some Nazi concentration Orwellian camp guard come and throw you in a cattle car? Like, are you going to be Brendan Eicht? Do you want to deal with a future society where Gen Z grows up worse and less responsible and even more immature and even more psychopathic about traits than the millennials? I mean, you're Gen Z. Look at your generation. You think any of them are going to, and they're going to inevitably, they're going to leave the country. That's who's going to be on the boat. And here, but the piece of paper, fuck the piece of paper. Now, again, my investment horizon is significantly shorter than yours. I want peace and quiet. I want serenity. I don't want any more mental pain. I'm done worrying. I've spent solidly my middle third of life, if not the middle 45% of my life, trying to do what was fucking right, do what economists do, hey, we got to do this. This is the way to. And all I've caught from this society, all I've caught from the United States is hatred, name calling, threats to I've even had death threats, I guess, if you wanted to, threats to my career. Fucking people who I work for, like, we heard you said, shut the fuck up, lady. It's the United States of fucking America. It's none of your fucking business. Now fuck off. But that concept, like, you know, in Cappy's world, if Cappy was president, I'd pass a workers' right law. Workers can do whatever they want politically and voice their opinion outside of work. And if you fire them because of their political opinions, if it's communist, pro-abortion, anti-abortion, pro-gay, whatever, if you fire them, the government comes in and confiscates your company. You do not violate a worker's right. You do not violate the right to free speech. We can't even have that. We can't have that because people are too immature. So I look at the future. I don't care what piece of paper was written by a bunch of guys wearing wigs and their pantyhose back in the day. no matter how awesome and correct and legit and great to society and all future humanity, honoring that contract would be. You have a bunch of fucking immature, childish psychopaths with Marxism, with just a huge boner for Marxism, coming in there, and all they can obsess about is taking other shit that you have. And not only money, they're going to be pissed off because of all the other non-financial aspects that you have. What, dude, you work hard, you're a professional. Oh, well, you might get a good wife. You might have some good kids. Oh, well, why do you have that? You might, I don't know. You might lift weights. Well, you're benefiting. I mean, the level these petty NPC Marxist psychopaths are going to go to envy and create laws. It is going to be Harrison Bergeron. Look it up. So I don't really care about freedom right now. I want to go. This is why I'm willing to go to actually entertain a place like China. Okay, fine, you're communist, but you're stable. I mean, the rules and laws are pretty clear. Singapore, I don't think, I mean, what, you can't spit in the street, chew gum, you get it. Okay, at least it's stable. I know if I follow your rules, you're not going to let a bunch of fucking psychopaths burn down a street. You'll come after them. You'll knock that shit off right away. Dubai. Okay, there's another one. All right, no drinking. Although I guess they've accommodated non-Muslims where I guess you can get drinks, so there are nightclubs. But you know what? All right, that's your cult. Is it stable here? Do you crack down on assholes that burn and loot shit? All right, fine. All right, everyone's got to bow down, and we hear that annoying music every 5 hours, 5 times a day. You know what? Not my country, not my culture, but I'm going to abide by it. Are the roads clean? Hey, here's another one, buddy. Do you think, whatever your gripes are about the Arabs and the Middle Easterners and the Muslims, you think they let people shit on the streets? You think in Dubai or Riyadh, people are allowed to shit on the streets? We're talking sanity, simple sanity, of which the United States has less and less of. And you're not going to have a functional society. So this renders whatever freedoms are on a piece of paper moot. And I know you like your guns. And I know you'd like to homeschool. But I think you could find a country out there where you're allowed to own guns to hunt. Maybe you can have guns like, like in Switzerland, you have to have a gun. Your age, it's mandatory service. You have to have a gun. There's pictures of like young men, they'll carry their guns to make a bank deposit because they're on drill or whatever. There are other, you got to research more. You may not have as much guns as you can have in, like, say, Montana in the United States, but you can have some guns. And then homeschooling, find out, do some research. And then, since having kids is so important, I understand their education is very important. Here's just something that just a crazy idea. You don't have to be like the average Republican cuck father out here in the United States, where you send your kids out to a Marxist indoctrination camp called the public schools, and then you don't invest in them, inquire or intervene in their education, saying, what are they teaching you? All right, see, son, this is bullshit. This is not right. Okay. None of them do that. All of them just, who? And then all of a sudden, when their little daughter comes back from McAllister College and she cut her hair off, she gained 40 pounds, and she's dating another gal, for Christmas, they come back at Christmas, and she starts lecturing her cucky conservative father over in Edina. Dad, you're really oppressive, da, 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 da. And then your average American Republican father, oh, okay, yes, dear, how much more money can I give you? Yeah. If you don't invest in your children and you don't participate and inquire about their education, then they're going to go become Marxists. But you don't have to homeschool. You just have to basically inoculate them against the bullshit they're going to receive in school. Now, thankfully, I was already cynical of adults. I knew adults were bullshit, especially teachers. I knew they were all lying sacks of shit. I don't know if I was a genius or what. All right. But all you got to do is, are you conservative? Are you Republican fathers in the suburbs where your wife bangs you with the dildo? You guys sit down. Try this. Hey, Susie, how was your day at school? Okay, guys, take notes if you need to. Okay, this is how to grow your penis back for Republican fathers. Hey, Susie, how was your day at school? Hi, Daddy. It was very good. Oh, what'd you learn today at school? That's another question you can ask your kids, conservative fathers. You can ask your children what they learned at school. You can ask them. It's crazy. We learned that to be white is bad, and I'm oppressing little Timmy. Wait. What? What? And now you invest in each. Now you're there to, like a vaccine. I got a buddy. He's a great father. He sends his kid to school. The kid goes, has a Marxist little fat broad of a teacher, spews her fat broad Marxist shit, bitches about how she doesn't make enough money to little, I think 6 or 7-year-olds. She comes back home, says, let's see your. He even looks at the homework. That's an advanced class for you conservative Republican cuck fathers out there. He says, okay, dear, we're going to have a conversation. This is wrong. Your teacher is lying to you, right? You're not oppressing little Timmy because you're white and Timmy happens to be Indian or Hispanic or whatever, right? Do you like, is Timmy your friend? Timmy's my friend. Okay. Do you and Timmy play? Yeah, we play ball. Okay. You're not oppressing him. Timmy just happens to be a different color, different gender. That's all. Conversely, little Jimmy, who happens to be a boy, he goes back home. Hi, Ma. Hi, Dad. And you too can ask. It doesn't matter what race your kid is. That's especially for you conservatives. Even if it's not your own race. Not your own kid. Why does it matter? The little Jimmy goes, oh, hello, little Jimmy. Hi, Dad. What'd you learn at school today? I learned that I'm oppressing little Susie. Why are you oppressing? Because I have a penis. And then it's incumbent upon little Jimmy's dad to tell the kid, no, son, you're not oppressing little Susie because you have a penis. That's just your evil, bitchy teacher who has a degree in education and doesn't know jack fuck all shit about life. In other words, I think if you're just a participating father, which there are none left anymore nowadays, you can knock that concern of yours out. You can have kids go overseas, have conversations with your kids. It's a crazy idea. And kids shipped out to school. Okay, kid goes, you work. Wife maybe takes care of the house, or maybe she works too, whatever. Kid comes back, keep tabs on the kid. Keep tabs on the education. Right? Be a father. And so I don't think homeschooling is that important. As long as you're there to counter the Marxist indoctrination, they may or may not get. Like in Poland, I don't think they're going to get Marxist indoctrination. I don't think in Dubai. Now they might get Muslim indoctrination, but you got a father. You got to raise your kid to be prepared for the con men of the world out there to indoctrinate them and lie to them and basically have them ruin their life. How many millennial women are going to have their lives ruined? How many Gen X women? Because their fathers didn't step in. Yeah, that's feminist bullshit. Your mom keeps telling you is bullshit. By the way, lose some fucking weight. You better find a guy if you want to get married sooner than later. You're going to lose your looks. How many more women would be happy that way? But that's not what I want to hear. That would take, I'd have to tell my daughter something she didn't want to hear. And nothing too good for that is a princess. So you don't need to worry about the homeschooling that much, I don't think. I think you could find a country with guns that you're allowed to have. But more importantly, I know freedom is very important to you. But more importantly, going forward, you need to find countries that are stable. Even though Russia is horrendously corrupt, at least it's stable. At least they're for Russia. You know, Vladimir Putin, wave your complaints. Too many polonium in people's hamburgers, apparently. I think he's got the interests of the Russian people at heart. Well, his own interests at heart, too. But it's kind of clear, like, no, we're not going to take people in Russia. No, Russia comes number one, right? It's stable. The Middle East countries, well, maybe not so much, but Dubai, stable. I'm trying to think of where else. Asian cultures. Again, this is where I'm going, Southeast Asia. I don't care who votes what in Thailand. Just leave the electricity on. Leave me alone. I'll learn your language. I won't pester nobody. I'm not going to take your women. You can't even own property in Thailand. I'll whatever. Let me be the old man by the sea. Let me smoke my pipe. Let me have my cigar, and I'll donate money to the local fund or the library or whatever. Right? I think that's going to be more important going on into the future. I also think wealth is becoming increasingly irrelevant with technology making things so advanced. So the real value is going to be cultural stability, so that the lights stay on. Or what? How many times is the road going to be blocked? You think they're going to tolerate people protesting on the highway in Dubai? What? You find a place that's stable, so you can just, so society functions and people leave you the fuck alone. Right. And then you leave this country so you don't have to worry about this fucking insane asylum insanity that's going on, where everyone is just angling to get one over on another person because of traits, so that they basically don't have to work. You go to put on the funny hat, eat the borscht, learn the language, polish out your accent, so people are like, wow, he really put some effort into it. Do the dance with the tassels that everyone does in the Mediterranean island country. Do the dip. Eat some baklava. It's great. And then you go home, you raise your family, and you shut the fuck up. That's what I would be looking at. That's what I'd be going for. You know, and all countries change. I'm sure with cell phones and smartphones, the Polish women will inevitably discover feminism, and that will start this. They'll forget about communism and how many people were raped and killed by the communists. They'll forget that. I'm sure Bulgaria will do this, whatever. Maybe China invades Thailand. I don't know. And then I got to go find myself a new grass hut with a septic tank. But for right now, all the benefits of the United States aside, I think in your lifetime is going to be ultimately moot, and you have to move overseas. And I would not worry about giving up your gun rights or your right to homeschool, because I don't think you're going to have them. And they can be held elsewhere or mollified elsewhere. So there you go. All right. Oh, well, DJ Aftershock for $5. Just buy a house in Brookfield and buy Nike high tops, Cavaricci pants, and use your dad's BMW to drive to school. If you don't, you're not cool. I remember going to Wayzata High School one time to teach a dance class, and it was early, so the kids' cars were, well, I'm sorry, it wasn't the kids' cars. It was their parents' cars. I'm like, there wasn't a car there that was worse than mine. They're all nice. Oh, Fred, I got your, we got 2 super chats here. Fred, is it worth the risk to marry a Wayzata girl or a new Trier girl if she makes 6 figures and you estimate her inheritance will exceed yours in amount? Well, there's nothing wrong with rich gals. Yeah, if you have a choice between rich and poor, take a rich gal. But the problem typically is if women, it's like beauty. Beauty corrupts women and turns them into insufferable quantahahas, generally speaking. Money does the same thing to people. Money makes people weak, right? So, I mean, now every once in a while, you can find someone who works hard and their parents brought them up right. They made them work. They didn't give them no money. So this could happen. Marry a Wayzata girl. New Trier. Why do I know New Trier? I mean, she doesn't need your money. I mean, yeah, sure, it's great to have someone that with money, but usually that kind of money is going to... Is she nice? Does she show up on... Is she humble? Does she treat wait staff good? I've dated rich girls before. Not fun. Not fun. Got rid of them right away. Persian King 1374 for $8 Australian. Salutations from Melbourne. It's not Melbourne, it's Melbourne, Mr. Celery. Are you ever going to come to this end of town, mate? I'll shout you a beer once our dictatorship ends. Maybe. The problem with Australia, it's so big, you need at least a month to do it any justice. And so even though I'm going to be in the Southeast Asia area and I could just hop a flight down south and go there, truth is I don't want to move to Australia. I think that's going to be taken over too. There's not that many people in Australia. Adam Piggott's talked about it a lot. I don't know. Western civilization is so obsessed with hating itself and shitting and spitting upon what its forefathers gave it and the world. I just don't think I can deal with it. I don't know, not necessarily an Eastern culture, but a culture that actually respects itself. Yeah, because you can't have stability when the culture doesn't respect itself. I mean, you literally have people like hating themselves. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm white. Ah. Like, fuck off. I'm out of here. See ya. Have fun with your party. And I don't know. Australia just seems to be that way. I'm sure you have your Wayzata girls too down there, right? Melbourne's got to have like the little fancy neighborhood where all the rich girls have the rich cars. I know what the solution to the world. It's more of your money. More of your money we need. Not mine or my daddy's, but your money. And then this one, Fred Freeman Sowell for $2. Oh, the places you'll go, marry a Wayzata gal. That'd be a sequel to the Dr. Seuss book, marry a Wayzata gal. Fred Freeman Sowell for $2. I got robbed 3 times in Romania, cab drivers. Yeah, I'm working on a project where I look at the corruption perceptions index, and Romania does not score well there. Romania is like the armpit of Central Europe, apparently. Fred Freeman Sowell got off wrong stop. Omar's after Twins, scary place. Why, were you in the Twin Cities? The first stop from the Metrodome was not the Metrodome. That's the base. That's the football. See, we had a football and baseball stadium. Now we needed 2 separate ones. Now we have 2 stadiums, and no one goes downtown anymore. Target Field, way across the other side of town. You could still take the light rail, and you go through Ilian Omar's district. You go through my backyard. I used to live at Ghettos in the Sky, the McKnight building over at Riverside Plaza. That's where predominantly the Somali community lives. It wasn't that bad when I was there. I don't know. Is it bad now? Jesse Carrillo for $2. Dude, bro. That's it. For $2. Dude, bro, back at you. Jane Go Geek for $2. America will always vote, bail out, enjoy the decline. Yeah, it will. Look, there's no World War II rugged individualists. There aren't. And above all else, when I've seen Republican guys or conservative guys, libertarian guys pound their fists, and then it's like, all right, let's do something. Not like revolutionary. Let's do something. Ask them, whoa, I don't know, man. They're all fat. They're just armchair Monday morning quarterbacks, that kind of thing. They mouth out a lot. You don't see them at the gym. You don't see them running. You don't see them hiking. Yeah, well, there's no Americans left. It's a bunch of fat, spoiled fucks. That's it. And none of the men are going to stand up to women because vagina or because divorce and they're married to one. Fred Freeman Saul, $2. Israel on your list, viable option for some? Yeah, especially if you're Jewish. If you could prove Jewish lineage. I got a shot because of my grandma. I don't know if I want to go to Israel. It's on the list because it's not, it's on the way. I am going to check out Dubai, but the problem is if you go to Israel, then you can't go to just, you gotta. Fun, yay! Those bastards over there believe in the same God, but a slightly different interpretation of it. Let's go kill each other. Hey, Arcadie's back in the house. What's up, Arcadie? I haven't seen you. Oh, Arcadie, Israel was an amazing place prior to the shutdowns, unlike any other, but expensive. Okay. So there's a report from the field, Arcadie. The Competent Man for $5. Roosh V wrote extensively how much harder game became as the country got more smartphones. It seemed that within a decade, it was like the United States. Yeah, and I'm sure that just like, it's identical to a virus. It's just information. That's all a virus is genetic information. As that spreads, and you got to realize where the women goes, that's where the country goes, because you men will subserviate yourself to pussy. You'll do it. You'll do girls. Girls. And so if women are like, oh my God, because I'm like 21 and like have amazing tits and I'm excited, even though they'd be saying this in Polish and with a Polish accent. Do they have Fresno girls in Poland? Somebody from Poland tell me, is it like, oh my goodness. So I heard from an American feminist who's like fat and old and disgusted with herself that like, we're totally oppressed here. And like the Polish men never did anything like fight off Nazis or the Russians or the Soviets ever. So like, I think we should just like have free things and stuff. And oh my goodness, like on my Facebook account, yeah. And then you go, oh, okay, yeah, socialism's good because vagina. And oh, wow, why is Poland a socialist shithole in 2050? Because you all forget. Same thing with the Cubans. They come over here. They hate communism. They all vote Republican. Very happy to be American. By the time their grandchildren come around, because this color skin and the white man oppressed me. Simon Bolivar, even though he didn't really make it to the Caribbean islands, it was more South America. Oh, we need a revolution. Scott Luke. Oh, wait, did I answer that question? Yeah, I did. Okay. Scott Lukey, $2. Bring back the draft and have World War III thin the herd. No. Dude, they just got rid of shark attacks in the military. It does make the compelling case. You could probably now draft up a militia that's better trained than the military. Not better trained than all the military. It would be seriously lacking the hardware, but you'd have harder soldiers on average because you still have the SEALs. You still have Rangers. You still have special. Those guys go through real training. But your rank and file infantry, I guess, is just like, we'll help you do your pull-ups. Persian. Oh, wait. Where'd Persian King go? Persian King, 1374 for $3 Australian. Are we getting Cappy Gaines fitness challenge? No. I just took that picture because I wanted to see a before and after picture. And I don't look too bad for 45. But I am doing no carbs. Had been doing no carbs for a while. Lost an inch on my waist. Still got an inch to go. Well, it's got a problem. Like I was doing pull-ups and like I've seen gains. No, I don't have enough time to do another channel. We got to start Operation Evil pretty soon. Operation Evil's coming up. After I do the seminar with Rule Zero, I get the other book ready. Essays already been put. A lot of crap going on. I got to still put together a PowerPoint presentation. Fred Freeman Saul for $2. Quit job and enroll in MBA at the Carlson School. Why did you even bother applying for jobs before you got your MBA, Fred? You need your MBA from the Carlson School of Management. Otherwise, people don't know what a power broker baller you are. You need that MBA. There's a girl on Twitter bragging about how she's going to be everyone's boss because she graduated from the Carlson School. Oh, it was hilarious. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll let you figure that out. I'll let you do that. Persian King for $3. How do I get the girl saw if I'm 5'7"? You pay for it. Like you do everything. Look, you think the guy who's 6'2" who marries the super hot chickie babe, you don't think he's paying for it? You all pay for it, gentlemen. You all pay for it. The cheapest, most pleasant way is probably prostitution. Haven't hired one out yet. Not ruling against it. Not ruling against it because if you got to get a girl, fuck if I'm going to go. Dude, I had to go through my buddy's Match.com account because I'm doing research now for that seminar, Return on Investment on the Pursuit of Women. And oh my God, I'm not going through that shit. If I want to get laid, here's the money. Go. I'm done. No, I'm not. Is that funny? Winnie Banner back and forth. And I remember dating before the internet. I'm certainly not doing it now with the internet. And I'm never going, no. Here's that. And I got a bunch of guys my age and older like, nope, we did that pay. Done. Nope. You watch Chad Elkins like, no, that didn't. Watch my other buddy. No. If I have to go back, it ain't going to be this going to a club and 3 dates, maybe get sex. Like, no, I'm going to stay at home and play video games. And then maybe we'll get a potpourri, a harem of the not the Plenty of Fish. What is it? Seeking arrangement. And that'll still be cheaper. So there you go. Anybody who's 5'7", anybody of any height, just pay for it. Be done. Hey, there's our buddy Atham for $2 super stick. I don't know what it looks like. Dan Hunsacker for $5. I don't respect a country that doesn't respect itself. Cappy 2020. There you go. Yeah. It'll fall. Especially if your women hate you. You can't have half the sex hating you. You just can't. DJ Aftershock for $5. You see, I'm a pretty big baller at the Carlson School of Management. I totally getting that job at Cargill with my BA in Bidnaz with a bonus, man. I remember all these people claiming they got job offers. Bullshit. They're all lying. All right, that's it. Okay, questions, answers, AstroConsulting.com. Go check out my books. Watch the beginning of the video. I finally got the prequel in. That's it. Toodles.